Hey guys. So, as usual, mentorship session. I think, Brian, you had a question, right? You told me that you had an issue. No question? No one has any question? You don't need me anymore. Everyone is just so good. Did you like the session on OpenChat? I'm curious. Maybe it was hard to understand some of the concept we are talking about. Because we dive into all sorts of subjects, like we talk about how the ICP protocol works, how the SNS works, and I even have introduced the SNS yet. So what did you guys think? I'm curious. Like Assini, I see Brian. What was it okay to follow? Did you learn something? I haven't seen the video yet. Okay. Yeah, it was the session just before this one. Could you explain this question of the level 3, task 4, implement the mint function? The mint function should accept a principal and a NAT as arguments. Add the NAT to the balance of the default account. Yeah, okay, so the mint function is essentially a function that you can call and it will create token for you. So obviously, let's go to here. It's a level 3. Right, yeah, level 3. So implement the mint function, accept a principal and a NAT as arguments. And add the NAT to the balance of the default account. So the idea with this is to, yeah, so you have your ledger, right? You have a tree map where you store accounts, and those accounts, they have a number associated, which corresponds to how much token they own. The idea with this question is to add, so you receive a number, maybe 100, you add this to this principal. So the principal that corresponds to this account. So you need to put principal here, and sub account would be null because you are using the optional accounts. That's just about it. Like basically you need to check the ledger and add the amount to this corresponding account. And what did I wanted to say? Yeah, in the real world, basically you would restrict the mints. Like not everyone would be able to mint new tokens. Otherwise that would be kind of defeating the purpose. But this case is an easy one, so anyone can mint. Do you? Oh, does it make sense? Did I make it clear for you, Asini, what you need to do? Am I supposed to write a function in the return or keep it empty? What do you mean exactly? Okay, so let me just actually remove that. So you actually don't need to return anything. You need to return like this empty string, so it's like kind of nothing. But what it means is you basically just do the operation, like you check the account and you add this amount, and then you just return. So you don't need to return any value, you just end the function. Yeah, once again, so this is it's called unit type. It's basically the type that you have when you return nothing. So some functions you return NAT or maybe a text message like an error message, maybe. For example, here we would return the symbol as a text, but some other functions, they return nothing, like they just end and that's it. And to indicate basically that they've come to an end, you just need this unit type. I'm in level 4. I'm a bit confused in the variant types. Can you give more examples on how to use the variant types? Is there some learning material for it? Yes. So it's in the lessons, we have something about, probably not in chapter 13, probably more in chapter 6, chapter 7, I guess. Yeah. So this chapter, you have a whole section on variants. A variant is a type that contains different cases. And a value from the variant is always one of those cases. So for example, you could use it for defining a type vehicle, which would be either a car, a moto, or a plane. You could also use it for defining a type day, and your day could be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and so on. Each type can be customized. So for example, you can create a custom type for a car, custom type for a moto, custom type for a plane, and then you can add those types in the variants directly. To use variants, we use switch case. So essentially, how to say that? Like, yeah, you would switch on the variants. For example, if you have a vehicle and you switch on it, then you have different case. We have 3 cases in this case: car, moto, and plane. And depending on the type of the variant, like which variant we are in, we could do different actions. So in this case, we would return vroom for the car, roar for the moto, and push for the plane. I hope it makes sense. It's the variance is used when you have like different cases corresponding to a same type. In our case, we use it for listing all the errors associated. Mm, yeah, the idea here is, for example, for the create proposal error, is to list all of the different possible errors that you can encounter. So one kind of error would be you're not a DAO member. Another one would be you don't have enough tokens. Maybe you can come up with more ideas, but that's essentially it. Is it good? So in task 3.4, if the variant is okay, I implement create proposal, otherwise error variant. If the variant is okay, I implement, wait. Yeah, so in the case of create proposal, you need to return create proposal result. And actually take a look at the source folder because I have defined all the types for you. So this morning I've come up with a template that you can use. So you can take a look here. Essentially, you need to look at these templates and you can see how you should define your types. So this is how create proposal would look like. So you have a type create proposal okay, which is a bit strange because it contains only one variant, proposal created, but yeah, let's move on. Then you have a type create proposal error, which is not a DAO member or not enough token. Then you combine those two types here, and the create proposal result is either okay or an error. So either you made it true or you had an error and you return which error you had. And so the create proposal function is going to return this create proposal result. I haven't checked that folder. Yeah, check that folder. That helps a lot. I should have. I've tweeted about. I've tweeted. I've made an announcement about it in the Discord, but yeah, I've added this morning. It's basically a template that you can use. So you have all the code needed for level 1 is here. All the code needed for level 2 is here. All the code needed for level 3 is here, and so on. And I've also added some indication, like for example, for the level 4, you need to make use of level 3 because you need to check if the person has enough token. So you need to kind of use what you've already built on. Hello, everyone. I've seen new faces. Everyone has a question. I was saying that this morning I pushed an update to the repo, and basically I've added this structure for you. So if you are struggling with the types, like how to define your functions and which types and so on, I've put all of it here, and you can use that to start your project. This is a huge help because I've noticed that most of the time when you submit a project, basically what's the problem is usually the types, not your implementation. But for example, instead of like vote results, you have another name and it's making your canister crush. So yeah, that should simplify your life. Do you guys have another question? Otherwise, I'm gonna take my break. Also, send me your OpenChat ID. Some of you already did. Let's chat on the blockchain. Water break. Yeah, I need a coffee break. it's no question from me. I'm going to take my coffee break. I have made this for the bootcamp, so I didn't have time to kind of go out too much before preparing this bootcamp. But next time I want to go into universities and school and kind of spread the word. So basically, it's talking about Web3. It's talking about crypto. I want to understand that. I want to make it understand to people that crypto is not about money, or at least not only about money, but about creating trust. And I want to explain what's a DAO, that people can basically create their DAO and collaborate together to create projects. And then that Web3 is the next generation of the internet, and they can start building now by joining us on motokobootcamp.com. I think you can see it. Join us. I can submit level 2. Okay, so let's take a look at your code. So usually what I've noticed is that you might have an issue with the types. So I'm going to open, on one side, I will have the playground. On the other side, I will have my folder with the types. So, okay, this is the types you should follow. Member, result, hash map. Do you actually follow this? Let's see. Okay, this is good. Hash map is okay. Okay. Add member. Okay, I can see an issue already, I think. So, look, you have, this is the structure that you should use. And you have, you have, sorry, you have name and age instead of just member. And this is completely different. Like an object with 2 fields is not the same as 2 fields together. So even though you're doing it here, you should have a member argument here. If you fix that, that should already fix your issue. Maybe, let me see if you have something else. So update member, you have the good type. Get member, get member, get member. Get member looks good. Oh no, you should return the member here. So here you should have member. If you take a look. If you take a look, here you should see a type member. So when you return OK, I want you to return the member. So you should have the member here. Actually, you shouldn't put the member here. You should return it. The idea is not to put it back in the structure. The idea is to return it. So that would look like this. Obviously, you would need to change the return type. Get all members looks okay. You're complex, adding more complexity than is needed. You could just return like this. So and number of members looks good. The next bootcamp is on the 20th. So there will be one bootcamp every month, actually, and I'm planning to make modifications. So this bootcamp is really about the basis, like the syntax of Motoko and creating those functions, and you have those challenges. But in the future, I want you guys to basically build full stack applications. So like a front end, a back end, and everything working together. So basically what we are using, like OpenChat, for example, is a good example. Maybe not as big, but some kind of prototype like this. Also having bounties and hackathon following that. But next bootcamp is on the 20th. And after that, we have another one in December. And after that, for 2024, I don't have the dates, but I'm going to be all over the place with like one bootcamp every month. It's going to be exciting. Yeah, I would suggest to really watch the videos and make sure you understand everything from this bootcamp before you organize the next one. But if you want to gather with some people and do like a gathering for the next bootcamp, you can do it. I know that some people already did it in the past. Last bootcamp, we had some people gathering in Argentina. And for next bootcamp, I will be in Madrid. But if you want to join, I don't know where you're living, but if you want to join, you're welcome. You think it would be better if you wouldn't use the playgrounds? So you would prefer to use Visual Studio Code, actually? I think for next bootcamp, I will make the repository, so you would be able to clone it and essentially have a starter kind of template that you can use. Yeah. And you would be able to use that in Visual Studio Code. I think the playground is good for maybe testing some examples, but maybe not for the entire week of the bootcamp. So yeah. Okay. All right, guys. This time, if you have anything on Discord, otherwise I see you tomorrow. We have another guest tomorrow. Actually, those are previous bootcamp graduates. So they've made the bootcamp 1 year ago. And now they are building really cool things on the ISE. We talk about, it's called WebSocket. We talk about it today, and we will talk about it tomorrow. See you.